Hello, namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and welcome to Friday Tarot Chat. I've been trying to make this a regular thing, and I apologize for the inconsistency, but I'm hoping to get back to regular noon broadcasts on Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific. And today, this is just fun. This is going to be lots and lots of decks, and I have a deck combination playlist on my channel, which has been really, really popular. And I have received so much amazing feedback and requests. Sadhana, can you do more? Can you do more deck combos? I love doing deck combos. I kind of do them throughout all of my readings and in my different, the different live streams that I have. But today, this is just dedicated to deck combinations. I have a ton of them that I've got prepared over here at the side, and we'll see how far we get. I'm probably going to go for maybe up to an hour and a half today. And so just have fun and let me know if you have worked with these decks as well too, and what oracle or tarot decks you pair together. So the intention for these particular pairings is oracle and tarot. And the reason that I love to have these pairings handy is because I feel like it's easier for clients who are not familiar with the tarot to hold an oracle card in their hand and receive the medicine of that. Sometimes they like to take a picture of it. Sometimes they like to take a picture of their whole reading. But there's something about the oracle cards that is a lot more accessible. And when the oracle cards, they kind of talk together with the tarot cards, and there's this beautiful synchronicity of messages. And so sometimes I do a spread that includes tarot cards and oracle cards together, which I'm going to do 3 cards today. I have got a lot of decks I'm going to show you. So we're going to do 2 tarot cards and 1 oracle from each of the combos. But sometimes what I do is I will pull the oracle card before or at the end of the reading. And sometimes I will also build it into the corners. So I do a 9-card spread. And so there are the 4 corners, which represent usually the elements. I will put oracle cards. So sometimes I really do a lot of mixing and matching. Rarely do I do 2 tarots, but once in a while, there's certain tarot decks that just want to gather together. So today is tarot and oracle. The hashtag is tarot combos. There is a whole playlist of videos linked in the description box below. And there is already a list of most of the decks I'm going to talk about today, also in the description box below, which I will edit after the live stream. Okay, so that was my plan anyway, when I started and planned this a couple days ago. I want to say hi to everybody that is here, and I see some familiar faces I haven't seen in ages. But I'm going to go in order. Holly was here first. Hello to Holly. And again, I have been diligently trying to remember all of your names along with your channel names. And some people, it's been a little tricky to do that. So I know Selena is Snow Fox Tarot. So that's one I got. Mary Beth, hello. Yes, Mary Beth, that thumbnail, the 2 colors of those decks is just stunning, and we are going to get to that combo, which was in the thumbnail as well too. Oh, that's great. I'm really, really glad. And Shadowscapes Tarot, which we're not going to look at today, I believe one of my all-time favorites for that is Kitsune the Foxfire, but there are others as well too. And it's just sometimes, I did do a video on the top 5 favorite combos. So that's also in the playlist. Hi to Joel. Welcome to you. Oh, I'm really glad that you like that series. And this is something I want to say, what Mary Beth is saying here is to be cautious of. There are a few oracle decks that I'm going to mention today that really serve in many, many ways. And if you have a few big hitter oracle decks, you don't need 12, 50, 100 oracle decks. If you have a few that really do the trick, then what I might do is an update on my top 5 Oracle decks, or the most top 5 Oracle decks of all time. So Oracle decks that I use the most and why I use them, because you don't need a huge collection of Oracle decks, I don't feel. Hello to Peace Ninja Woman. It has been ages and ages. Oh my goodness, it's Amy, right? Please tell me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since we have chatted. So lovely to have you here. And hi to Dory. Hello, hello. Essence O, welcome. The Connected and Free deck is so beautiful. It is not in my video today, and for sure, this is one of my all-time favorite Oracle decks. It is always, always out. Oh, your husband is going to have fun listening to this. So I want to say hello to Shannon's husband. Yes, Amy. Okay. Oh, Amy Lee. Okay, so it's a double barreled first name. So I'm just going to make sure that yeah. So it's been ages, and you were one of the first regulars on my live streams, and I remember you very well. So thank you. Hello to Diana. Welcome. Well, Shannon, hopefully after today, you still only have one, unless you're going by a metaphysical store on the way home on your journey. Blood Moon Tarot. Now, Joel, I will add that to my list. I do not have that tarot deck, but I'm happy to have a look at the artwork after the fact and give you some suggestions. Hello to Dee. Welcome, Dee. Altvox. Now, I have a feeling that I know your name as well, too. I'm just going to, if you want to let me know what your name is, because also you are somebody who has been around for a while. So hello, welcome. Hashtag tarot. Hashtag tarot Claire. Welcome to you. Hello, Jen. There's Claire and Jen. Jen, it must be really late for you. I have a feeling that it's almost your bedtime. By the way, the Connected and Free is being reprinted soon. Okay. And it's going to be really interesting to see if this one is going to come out in different card stock. My only beef with this deck is the cardboardy card stock, and it's one of my favorite decks. It's just it can't be riffle shuffled unless you break it in half and riffle it in two. My Dory's favorite Oracle deck is Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So that's another deck that I need to look up. And okay, who else is here? Christy, okay. Christy, writing this down. Holly, what does Holly have to say here? Holly is waiting. Now, I didn't pick this up, but I had it in my hand twice. It was sitting at the store where I do readings, and I want to look at a couple more walkthroughs to decide if I'm going to purchase this one. Oh, it's early, 5:10 a.m. Okay, so you're just starting your day, Jen. Well, good morning. It is meditation time. Great. Where are we at? And Diana's new oracle is the Lantern, which looks really, really pretty. Good to know that you recommend that. And same with me, Textured Tarot. My only beef is cardstock. Yes, so there is the Lumina Tarot, the Connected and Free Alchemist Tarot, the Textured Tarot. I think these are the three most cardboardy decks that I have. And I love them all. My Textured Tarot has some damaged cards. And yeah, anyway, it's just one of the things. I love to shuffle. So I am shuffling here because my intention today is, as we go through these pairs, is to do mini readings. And because I have so many decks I want to share with you, I'm going to just talk about the random readings that come up. I'm not going to be answering specific questions, but at the end, perhaps if we have time, we can do a few questions. So to any of the mods that are in the chat, I am not answering questions today, but I'm reading the cards as they appear on the table. Okay. Aloha, Jonathan. Namaste. Welcome. G Will, hello, welcome. You are new to my channel. Hello, G Will. And G Will, if you have another name you would like me to call you by, let me know. Mystical Moments Tarot and Enchanted Map Oracle. Okay, and so Claire, do you have the old Enchanted Map, or do you have the borderless new Enchanted Map? Let us know. Let us know which ones you're working with. Okay. Kiara, hello. Thank you, Jen. This is a very beautiful, beautiful tarot deck. And I love the muted colors of Whispers of Lord Ganesh. Yeah, beautiful deck. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let's get going. And so we're going to start. I believe I have 15 combos or so to share with you today. And the first one, now I apologize. I know this deck is out of print. This is the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. And from what I understand, G Will is Grace. Okay, excellent. I'm going to write that one down. G Will. There is presently there is no intention to reprint this deck, but I know many of you do have this and are pairing this with other decks that have Anna's artwork on them. But I wanted to suggest an oracle deck that I think works really beautifully with this because of the magic of the witch, right? The magic of the green witch, especially. And for those of you that work with that energy, yeah, so the oracle deck is Sherilyn Darcy's Green Witch Oracle. I'm just giving it a little shuffle. I'm going to cut the cards and I will put the backs down so you can see the backs. So Sherilyn Darcy makes really beautiful oracle decks. Her work, she's an Australian artist. Most of her, I think all of her decks come through Rockpool, and they feel very, is Ginger Faye here? Oh, hi, Ginger Faye. I feel like she is super connected to the plants in a way that, actually, you know what? I have a lot of plant oracle decks. I'm just going to say I really like Sherilyn's decks. And so in this particular deck, you have a lot of symbols that are going on to work with. Of course, you get a keyword. And one of my criteria for plant decks is that you do get the Latin name. It's really important because as species vary with plants, if you think you're working with something and the Latin name isn't the same, then you need to kind of modify with what you're doing. But in the Green Witch Oracle Guidebook, there is, let's quickly go to protection, and I'm assuming, oh gosh, yes, the cards are numbered. Okay. Phew. So this particular onion, I just wanted to show you this really quickly. We have information. We have an oracular meaning, and there is always some kind of magical correspondence and some work to do with the plant. And it is concise. I find a lot of the plant medicine books, there's a lot of information. So this particular plant oracle and it's not just, it is, yeah, it's all plants and herbs, is it's easy to work with, is what I wanted to say. Okay. So let's look at a couple of combinations here. And why don't we have a read of this one? So this is stimulation. The element is fire. We're looking at chili. Another thing too I look at with the numbers of oracle decks is sometimes there is this very interesting correspondence between the numbers too. Okay, so here we're looking at the Chariot card. And yes, Chariot is associated with Cancer and the element of fire, but the element of water, but there's something about that forward moving energy of the Chariot that will be enhanced by the energy of the chili, right? Stimulation is such a perfect energy to help give you impetus to move forward with the Chariot energy. Oh my goodness. And look at that beautiful, perfect. Okay. So this is why I love to play with this. Look at the red colors. So we have the red in the rose that is behind the woman in the 9 of Pentacles. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's do one more. Okay. So here we have grounding. So root vegetable. It's funny because I talk about grounding all the time when I'm doing readings and how very important that is. We have astrological associations. There's so much that you can pick up on these cards. If you love all that little, okay, so here we have the 10 of Wands. So what is the medicine for the 10 of Wands? The 10 of Wands is excessive fire, right? So we're overheated in everything. We're spent. Our adrenal fatigue is probably through the roof. So the energy of potato is root vegetable, and we can extend that, right, to all root vegetables. We can extend that to the energy of grounding in general, any kind of grounding practices. And then on the other side of that, we have an energy of connection, right? We have an energy of connection, brotherhood, sisterhood, working together. You don't need to do this alone. You don't need to carry all the responsibility yourself. Okay. So I will wait and see if there's a response to that. I do not have that oracle deck, Jonathan, so I can't even comment. Empathic and faceted do not have faceted. Telluric. And the Avec la Vie decks. Yes, the Avec la Vie decks are so gorgeous. Okay. All right, so this is our first one. And so one of the other things that I look for, and this is going to come up quite a bit today, is the combination of space. You know, like when I put an oracle deck in the middle, I don't want it to overpower or get lost in the tarot deck. It's really important that the two decks can stand alone and talk together. Okay. Claire Max second. Okay. I am going to have out Tarot of the Abyss later, and I'm going to show you what they look like side by side. And I will respond to Donna's comment when I do that. So I'm not going to put this deck too far away. So the second tarot deck is the 4th edition of the Yonasi Yaus. And I know the 5th edition is the square, it's the green version. This is the purple and gold version. And I see this one's damaged too. And this happens as well too, you know, when you are shuffling unusually shaped decks. I don't know if you can see the crease on there. I fell in love with this deck because of the colors. The colors, I love purple. I absolutely love purple. And I love the you can hardly call it simplicity. I liked the limited color palette. I think that's a better way to describe it, the limited color palette. And purple and gold are such stunning, stunning colors. Yeah. Okay, so with Yonasios, so here we are looking at the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is looking towards the moon. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Galatian, so the language in the Yonasios is Galatian, and I'm not sure if the 5th edition is in Galatian or, hi Emily, if the 5th edition is in Galatian or if it is in English. Maybe somebody can write that in the chat as well too. And I liked this deck so much, I purchased a backup copy. So I have two copies of the 4th edition. I just really, really resonate with it. Now, hopefully the shadow's not too bad. This is the Materia Prima, which is a really special deck. And I have been doing, when I first got it, I was doing single card pulls once a week. There's something about the Yonasios that is slightly cold. It's slightly cold. And because the Materia Prima is connected to the elements, it also has that similar energy. I don't have the guidebook for the Materia Prima on my table, and I tend to refer to it when I'm not familiar with the element itself. But there is something about the artwork in the Materia Prima that you, for sure, you can read if you read read storyboard style and all of that. Like looking at the antimony card in the center, it looks as if she's holding the sun. And the energy of the sun is facing the energy of the moon. And so there's a conversation of sun and moon here. And then over on the left, we have the Knight of Pentacles observing, kind of staying back and observing the situation. There's also this headdress to me, which looks like a lion's headdress. And so we really feel the energy of the fire here. At least I do. And I feel like the Yonasios is also a very truthful kind of energy. There's no messing around here. Okay, so here we have 0. And here we have 3 of Pentacles. Okay, look at the owl. The eyes of the owl are wide open. The energy of the eyes are just full of light and full of inspiration. And then we have Argon. And isn't that interesting? You know, look at the contemplation here. I'm wondering if this were a reading, if this were a sense of pulling back on the strings, or, you know, pulling back on the wildness of this, or to, you know, just to gently pause and to contemplate the next step. And why is the back turned to the beauty of the 3 of Pentacles? Perhaps this journey, right? The journey of the Fool, the inspiration of moving forward is in response to, you know, some kind of ill feeling towards this. But anyway, I think these 2 decks are absolutely Absolutely stunning together. Hello, Jezebel. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I did miss one of... Oh, it's so lovely to have you here. Thank you. Anytime is perfect. Yeah, and I know you've been working with this deck. It's really, really stunning. Okay, let's look at one more. So zirconium. And of course, ooh, look at this. Look how we have the phallus and the phallus. I love it how this works. The way that the sword is being held in zirconium. It's actually kind of tentative. Whereas the, ooh, okay. So it's not the phallus, what's it called? The stamen, right? The stamen of the flower is being struck by the lightning. This is the Tower card. I feel almost as if this is like a justice card. There's a truth, some kind of a truth that is being revealed. What have we got here? Bastos. So Bastos is wands, and we have the Queen of Wands. Well, the Queen of Wands is definitely going to be able to process this shakeup. Perhaps the Queen of Wands instigated this shakeup. But it's absolutely a stunning, stunning pair. Hi, Swan. Okay. I'm trying to read your comments and give some meaningful conversation here as well too. Okay. I would definitely purchase the green version of the Unacios. I think there's something quite special about this deck. And yes, it is a Tarot de Marseille based, but there's so many other layers in this deck, and I feel like it has, for me, an unexplored potential. I would love to use it much, much more. Okay, so now we're going to go to Anna's deck, Tarot of the Abyss. And one of you mentioned and said how you thought it would look beautiful with bone stone. And so I'm going to do that. But I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with you. And I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to show you a couple of oracle decks that I think pair really beautifully with Tarot of the Abyss. Okay. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So we got so I want you to know these are not fixed in any way. So bone stone again on the outside. And I'm just going to cut this and turn over a card here. So this is the Seven of Cups, and we'll look at a couple of these. And so here is Judgment and the Fool. Ooh, this is quite a cool reading. Seven of Cups is in the middle. And so the reason I disagree is because there's too much art in both decks. I like to have a little bit of space, and I've got a bunch of different examples I will show you today. And even though the contrast of the color and the black and white is stunning, I would like to see a simpler black and white deck with bone, stone, and earth flesh. Something that is less full. Perhaps there's a little more white space, but a little bit more geometry. Hello to Annabella. Okay. And I see that, okay, Annabella loves the green version of the Unacios. Okay, I'm not going to, I want to keep going. And Julia's here. Hello to Julia. And of course, this is personal, right? This is personal. And because it's Anna's work, but remember, this is Anna's work as dictated by Avalon Cameron, right? So yeah, so it would not these would not be two decks that I would choose to put together. I would feel somewhat overwhelmed. However, I do have two suggestions for Tarot of the Abyss, and that's what we're going to do next. So just let me pull that off. Okay. Golden Art Nouveau. Hello, namaste. Jonathan, no, let's see here. Apazia says, there's a lot going on in both of those decks. Too much for me to take in. I think that's my general feeling about them as well, too. Okay. Okay, so with Tarot of the Abyss, I have a couple of suggestions. One I have already shared on my channel, but I'm going to repeat today. And this combination has to do with the style of art. And I feel like the style of art fits really, really well together. This is my second copy. So I have also the original oversized cards, and these are I believe this one, it's all linked below. This one comes either through through makeplayingcards.com. And this is called Earthly Souls and Spirits. So first of all, the backs seem to have something in common. And this is the Queen of Swords. I love that. I love that pause in the Queen of Swords. Okay. Enchanted. So what I'm looking at here is, now this is not so different from the previous two decks, but we have one color deck and two black and white cards. And for me, it's just slightly different than what we were just looking at. And then the Lover's card. Ooh, the Queen of Swords, Enchanted, and the Lovers. She's alone. She's alone. Wow. Look at this. Look how this burst of light here is an aspect of the moon. And while this feels like more like a fiery light, this is the lunar energy. So Earthly Souls, and I should have the lid here. Where did I put the lid? Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle is available only in this size now, and it's lovely because it's so easy to shuffle. And I love the other deck too because the artwork is, let's pick a different card. You've seen that card today. Okay, another Queen of Wands, Serenity. In Anna's art, there is a lot of this fine detail in the trees. There's this, the roots, different lines of energy. And you get something similar in Terry Foss's work. And so this is why I like these two together. And I feel that Earthly Souls is a wonderful deck. It's not just a deck I know some people feel like this has a Halloweeny vibe because of the witches, the way the witches are drawn with the hats and so forth. But I feel it's a little more versatile than that. Luminous. Okay, so luminous is the key word here. Page of Swords. Oh, wow. Page of Swords, keyword luminous. And then over here, the Two of Wands. It's almost as if you're following that light. I don't have the Supra Oracle either. I have 2 decks from Usi. I used to say Usui because that's Usi. just have the Pagan Otherworlds and the Materia Prima. My other suggestion for Tarot of the Abyss, which some of you have seen on my channel, is, drum roll, get the box out. And this is trimmed, okay? So I have trimmed this, so it's a little bit smaller. And this is one of my very best trimming jobs in that I find that when you trim a deck, it often doesn't shuffle as well. But this one I hand cut with the same scissors that I use to trim every single deck. And I must have done this in full daylight or something because it just works beautifully. And as soon as I saw Anna's deck, so as soon as I saw Tarot of the Abyss, the first few cards appear on the, I don't know if it was her Wix website or whether it was on the Facebook page for Tarot of the Abyss, which was called the Abyss Tarot at one point. I knew that Sacred Rebels was going to be my go-to pairing for this one. There was just some kind of luminous energy that was going to bring these 2 decks together. And so this is Sacred Rebels with artwork by Autumn Sky Morrison. Okay. And I want to go back to the chat. Where are we here? Not opposed to Halloween vibes, no. And Annabelle, you have that one as well, too. And so this one is trimmed, and as Jezebel is saying, there is a new matte version of this deck against the grain. Let's see what's going to come up in Anna's deck. 10 of Cups. Wow, look at this. So in the 10 of Cups, in the Tarot of the Abyss, we have a woman with a baby on her back. And does it appear to you she is moving towards this home? You know, this, to me, this looks like a sunrise as opposed to a sunset. Or are we looking at a woman who is looking back over her shoulder and choosing to turn in the other direction? And when I see this particular card come up in the center here against the grain, it almost makes me feel like the empowerment of emotion. If we embrace our emotions, if we really learn to feel and trust our emotions, we can allow them to guide us in any way that we want. Yeah. Sacred Rebels does have an amazing guidebook, and all Alana Fairchild guidebooks are, you know, they're a slow read, right? Because there's an excessive amount of information. However, if you get to know the decks, there's a lot of power in the artwork, and we can start to read that intuitively. So reading this intuitively, I'm going to say that this 10 represents a new beginning, of course. 10s are ones and they start over again. It's beautiful that we have a 10 and an ace. And I kind of feel a melancholy energy here. I really do. I feel a melancholy energy, but also a sense of freedom. And there's a gentleness in the bravery of this woman, for sure. Let's do one more. I think this is just quite beautiful. What is already with you? What is already with you? So what are we looking at here? We're looking at sacred geometry in the center. So there's a bunch of sacred geometry here, which extends out. Then we have little tiny butterflies or moths. Hands. So the power of hands. Two of Wands. So isn't Two of Wands sometimes, I feel like he's looking out instead of looking within. And we can compare the Two of Wands to the Two of Swords in that way. We have choices. We have a balance to correct, perhaps. And there's something that is at home that may be being overlooked. What is already with you? And so the power of this deck with Anna's deck is it really, really, I don't know, it has a beautiful synergy. 8 of Wands. So this feeling is it's challenging. The card in the center is asking us to recognize what is here now. And then the cards on the outside are looking beyond, looking in another direction. So this is kind of poignant. Kind of poignant. I love looking at these two decks together. I tell you, this is one of my favorite things to do. Here's the last one for this pair. Bring it into form. Bring it into form. Bring it into form. The Devil. I'm not sure that I can articulate what I'm feeling here. With the energy of the Devil, I feel a lot of distraction. So we start to focus, we get busy, we focus on, we're looking externally, right? We're looking externally for happiness and satisfaction. There's something about the groundedness of the card in the center that feels medicinal for the energy of the Devil. And then we have another grounding card here. We have the Empress. So the medicine for the Devil is one of connection and creativity. Hey there, Candy. Welcome. Lovely to have you here. So yeah, so that's pretty powerful. Okay, we need to march on. Candy, I'm really enjoying all the images you've been posting of your time away. I don't know if you're back or you're still away. Loved that you could have your caravan on the beach. Really beautiful. Okay, that was the 2 for Tarot of the Abyss. Number 3, number 4, Tarot of the Abyss. Number 5. Okay, so this deck is the indie version. And I also have the Tarot in a tin for this one. People are always asking me about chakra decks. And I'm not sure that I have, well, I'm going to show you the Oracle deck that I absolutely love. So I'm shuffling White Sage Tarot, the indie version of White Sage. And this is a deck that I am not too sure about. I've spoken about it at length on my channel, mostly because some of the chakra associations just don't sit well with me, but there are some things about this deck that I love, love, love. And recently I had out the tarot in a tin version. And the advantage of the tarot in a tin version is that the borders are smaller. When this one came out, one of the criticisms was that big chunk of white on the bottom. So here we have Judgment and the Three of Wands. And so I am going to go to one of my heavy hitters here, which is deeply, deeply connected to the chakra system. And I don't know, where is it? I don't know if, it's Allison, right? I don't know if Allison speaks to that. I don't think I've ever heard I don't know if I've ever heard Allison. Allison Williams Yee is the creator of Soul Trees. And this is definitely in my top 5 oracle decks of all time. I mentioned Connected and Free. And this one is without a doubt Never Ever Leaving My Connection. I'm just cutting it and then I'm going to put it in the center. And the reason that I am pairing it with White Sage Tarot is because of its chakra connections. So what's happened here right away is we have a connection with the blue ribbon and the blue in the tree. So that tends to happen. So the blues represent the Vishuddha chakra, or Vishuddha, if you call it that, the throat chakra. And so part of this action is going to come through the voice. And that's how I read this deck. I look to the energy of the colors. There's also the green energy in the background. So there's something about this awakening, this next step forward, that has to do with a connection between voice and heart. And you see we have the Three of Wands here. I'm going to do this because of I've got a window creating shadow. So this next step forward is really part of that is finding your voice. Okay, so let's do another one. So King of Swords. King of Swords. So we have a wild cat. We have an impulsiveness. And one of the things about the wild cats is that they have that kind of energy, you know, where they can run really, really fast for a short period of time. There is an intensity to this energy. And this is getting paired with transformation. In the quirk cards, there is no, I don't believe there's a built-in chakra association, but with King of Swords, we're talking about truth for sure. The kings, depending on where you look at them in the tree of life, may or be associated either with the crown chakra or with the root chakra. So that really is a personal thing. But because we're looking at the golds and purples here, because this is a king, I feel like this is quite a high level transformation. And then we have Four of Wands. And I wonder, again, we have purple. So look what happens here. And this tends to happen with this deck. And it's one of the reasons these two fit really, really well together. It happens quite, I won't say all the time, but it happens a lot. And so if you're having a challenging time with the chakra associations, then get an oracle deck that does a really good job with the chakras. And here, look, we have it again. We have green and green. And you saw me, I shuffled these. I did not make this up. Okay. It's very soft. It's very soft, isn't it? Okay. Golden Art Nouveau. This is a software called StreamYard. A lot of the YouTubers use it. and it allows you to split the screen in lots of different ways. So I could also do this, right? There's lots of different ways I can move the picture around. Yeah. I'm going to leave soul trees on the table because I have another deck I want to show you. Okay. So this is White Sage Tarot, and it is going over here. So I'm curious about this question. This comment. So does this mean that the pairing is uncomfortable, or that it's too much? It's too much feminine? Can you expand on that, Jezebel? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Okay, so the other one is this one. And this is also extremely, extremely feminine. And this is the deck that I have lost a card. And I thought it was in my black briefcase. And one of you the other day in a live said it was inside, that you saw it inside a black zippered pocket with a black lining. So I'm still looking for the missing card for this deck. Okay, so this is the field. This is the field tarot. And let's do this. 3 of Swords. Whoa, look at this. I'm going to do this so you don't get so much shadow. There we go, that's better. Wow. Wow, now doesn't that give a whole other perspective? A whole other perspective to the 3 of Swords. I love that, because without that card there, who knows where I might go in the reading. Wow. Okay, and then the other card is the 10 of Discs. That's an incredible combo of colors there. You know, whatever that 10 of Discs represents, but I'm almost feeling it's something to do with physical, like empowerment of the body, the physical strength, a healing of the body itself. That this inner power and the healing of the heart space. Okay, let's do another one. All right. So 2 of Cups. Whoa, okay. 2 of Cups, mystery. Okay, we've got the purple hair, the purple background. Be okay with the unknown of the relationship. I also like the moon that's up there in the top right corner. You know, to be in the quiet of the relationship as well too. I just want to acknowledge what Annabelle is saying here. Yes, that would be a great combo as well too. And this particular oracle deck that Annabella is mentioning, it's the stickiness of it. That's one of the reasons I don't have it out. Ace of Swords. Get clear about what you want in the relationship. But also I feel like this relationship with that Ace of Swords there might be a deeply spiritual connection. Yeah. The body is the temple. Okay, let's do another one. Okay. 2 of Discs. Ooh. Okay, what do we got going here? Another thing I like about soul trees is that sometimes the trees look very much like the nervous system itself, like the actual tree. You can see the nervous system within the body. And with the Two of Discs, sometimes I feel like that juggling could go on ad infinitum. And look at the way that Two of Discs is drawn in the field tarot. It's perfectly balanced. It doesn't seem like anything is out of balance. And so there is, and the key word is change. So to me, this feels like the reading is about get outside of your comfort zone kind of energy. We need to shake this up a little bit, you know, step outside of the box. Something like that. Okay, so what is this? Five of Swords. I wonder if you've been feeling stifled, the lack of courage in saying what you need to say. And that card in the center is like, would you smarten up and just step forward? Like there's a lot of power in that card in the center. A lot of power. Oh gosh. Okay, this is the last one, but let's energy. One of the things about the symbol of the swan, and in a lot of decks you see the reflection, right? The looking into the mirror, the seeing of self. I also feel the transformation through the element of air, like through the connection of the swan with Saraswati, the voice, mantra, song, feminine energy, and the swan is a highly feminine symbol. And then the femininity of that card in the center. We have orange, right? So orange also connects to our femininity through the waters of the uterus. And then there's the pink, that red color. So this is a root and second chakra kind of energy. It's like a primal rising. Yeah. So a very different energy than the previous card. And here we have the Three of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so this is going to go on my list of, this is going to stay out for a while. Oh, gosh. Every single time I pull out soul trees, I feel something really, really magical going on. Okay. I can't say enough about this deck. Love, 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 love. Thank you, Allison Williams Yee. And I don't know if it's still published the same, but it comes in this gorgeous box. Oh, and another thing I want to tell you about this deck is there are chakra cards in this deck, but I have removed them because I feel that they are redundant. There is enough chakra energy in the deck itself. I don't need the chakra cards. And maybe that's just me because I know a lot about chakra medicine. So that's my personal thing. So those aren't there. So if I wanted to use them for significator cards, there's a few decks. I also took the chakra cards out of Connected and Free. And I tend to use them as significators when I need them. Okay, so now we're going to go to Cosmovisions, James Eads deck. This is the only James Eads deck that I have. Okay. Just giving Cosmovisions a little shuffle. This deck shuffles beautifully. And I have two ooh, that was a gorgeous cut. This is going to be a good read. I have two suggestions for Cosmovisions. And these are both older tarot oracle decks. Nari Anastasia's two decks. I don't have the little tiny reading cards. She actually has three decks. That little tiny one called Star Seeds. I don't have that one. And also, I do not mix Blue Messiah and Cosmic Reading cards. What we're looking at here is Cosmic Reading cards. So I have Cosmovisions and Cosmic Reading cards. I feel a slightly different energy with Cosmic Reading cards than Blue Messiah. The color of the deck is slightly different, but a lot of people I know, they mix them. Okay. And this is also it's a wonderful, has a lot of chakra energy. I believe she speaks to the chakras in the guidebook. I really want to have Nari on my channel, and she's agreed to do that. So I'm going to go back and start doing more interviews on my channel. And Nari Anastasia is one of the people that I'm going to interview very, very soon. Okay, so let's go to this one first. Celestial Teacher. In Cosmovisions, we have a glance to the other side. We have a glance to behind the veil. And I feel we get that similar kind of energy in Cosmic Reading cards. 8 of Embers. The Unknown. There is a faded, there's a, I don't know, faded, muted. Let's use the word muted, because faded doesn't have a very artistic energy to it. The colors in Cosmic Reading cards are saturated. The colors in Cosmovisions are muted. And so on the screen, I'm thinking this doesn't look as beautiful as, or as connected as I wanted it to. 5 of Trees. Unconditional love. Okay. 5 of Trees and unconditional love. So that the energy of the cards is definitely in sync with one another. The Cosmic Tree, which is 9. And I think energetically we've got something going on here. I'm not too crazy about the way they look on the camera. So I'm going to turn over one more, and then I'm going to show you another pair that I was playing with. So World Within Worlds, 10 of Trees, and 7 of Trees. Ooh, that kind of works. That kind of works. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle another deck, and you can let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm not feeling it either, Swan. And I had it out, was playing with it yesterday. And the readings I got yesterday were a little more, I don't know, they were a little better. Okay, so now I'm shuffling Soul Cards 1. Soul Cards 1, and we'll see about this one. I do not have Devas of creation. Okay. So this is, I'm going to cut. Okay, so this is Soul Cards 1. Let's pull a new card. In the Soul card, there is a lot of fiery energy on top, in the crown, in the brain itself. And I feel like the energy of the soul itself, like this feels like a transformational, highly transformational card to me. Okay, so that's 8 of trees and 8 of birds. Hello to Kristen. And Kristen says, cause my visions with spirit song. Okay, so I just need to put this one out of the way. I can do that. There we go. Okay, let's try another one. So another fiery card. Whoa, okay, that's better. That's better. So the Phoenix is the first 5 cards, or I believe 5 or 6 cards, are this journey of transformation, and that pairing just works so beautifully. Okay, and so what is this transformation about? Oh, we have more fire. Okay, so in this case, there would need to be a we need to beef up this reading, because this is hugely, lots of fire going on here, lots of transformation. Let's try another one. All right, so there's something quite quiet happening here. What am I feeling? I'm feeling kind of womb energy. There is a primal connection to expression. But just with the colors of this card, it feels almost like it's in the belly of the earth, or in the belly of the sea, right? The belly of the ocean. That's what I feel like. We're connecting with Gaia in the earth. Here's the soulmates card. This works. This is working for me for sure. And then this is the Empress energy, the peacock. Also, can you see the transformation, the portal that's kind of opening up here? Okay, so this is very good, actually. I'm going to add this combination to my list of it's kind of when I'm doing ancestor work or doing past life work, or really deep shadow work. So this combo feels very powerful to me. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. Let's go on. Next is, I'm going to leave soul cards on the table, and I'm going to take out another deck by Anna Turian that we don't see very often. We don't see very often on TarotTube. Let's give that a quick shuffle or put it away. And that is Hidden Waters. Do any of you work with hidden waters? And I just need to find it. There it is. Annabella says, I'm thinking of trying the Gaia Oracle with Cosmovisions also. Ooh, that's a good idea. I know what that one looks like. I don't have it. Okay. Now, if you are not comfortable reading intuitively, this one is going to feel very, very strange for you. But this is one of these are, what's the other deck? I actually prefer Hidden Waters to, there's another deck that is similar. It's a large deck. I'm trying to think of what it is. Maybe one of you can tell me. So Hidden Waters, and this is Soul Cards one. That's a very, very powerful card in the center. The Star and the Emperor. So the voice, do you feel that this person is getting filled up? Or is this some kind of ethereal cord that is being awakened? Wow, it's kind of a big reading. Okay, let's try something else. Let's go to this one. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, look at the colors. Look at the greens. That works. That definitely works. Pazia sees that previous combo as an awakening. Okay. Being alive. I feel like this is about being alive. This is about being real. Oh my goodness. Look how the ink blot of the Tower almost mirrors the card in the center. Wow. You know, really like this is about embracing that change. Be alive, be alive. Okay. I need to put a couple of decks away. The hand cards. Hands really speak to me, and I tend to focus on the hands. All right, so we have a synchronicity with the reddy orange colors for sure here. What is going on here? Four of Cups. Why the reddy orange color? I mean, I did talk about the reddy orange color before. I almost feel like this is, you know, that kind of root chakra message where we need to be comfortable with like the hands can represent the family. The hands can represent the heart. And there's all this fiery energy in the heart. Almost as if there's either resistance or anger to the root chakra energy. And so perhaps if this does represent some kind of an emotional stagnation or conflict, it's about burning through that. Wow. All right. Ooh. Three of Swords. Okay, so I hope you're seeing this, because I think it's about family, you know, and if it's not family, I use the word tribe. Kind of sitting here speechless. Yeah. So Hidden Waters, not a lot of people know about this deck. This is the second edition. I don't know what edition we're on. It's available, I believe, through Make Playing Cards or Game Crafter. It's down below in the description box. Okay. I don't have my soul cards 1 and 2 mixed up. I'm one of those people that keeps them in their separate little boxes. It's just, for me, it's too many cards to manage, and I feel a slight, again, like I said, with cosmic reading cards and what's Nari's other deck, cosmic reading cards and her other deck, there's a slightly different energy, and so I don't tend to mix them up. Okay, so we have a few more to go here, and so that was number 9. Number 10. Number 10. I think I'm going to skip number 10. Well, why not? Yeah, I'm going to skip number 10. Or, because I have... I'm going to skip number 10 because I want to do all the other ones. Okay, let's go to number 11. All right. This, I'm going to give this a shuffle. This is another conversation in itself. This is one of my all-time favorite Oracle decks. And I just purchased, this is the new borderless matte version of Raven's Messenger Oracle. Okay. And I'm going to do a side-by-side mostly for myself because I like looking at it on camera. And if you want to see the whole deck, I'm going to do that over probably this weekend. And I have, just so you can see, this is the older version. So the color has shifted a lot in this deck from quite muted colors to they become quite saturated. And I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison. And I feel I have a couple of comments here, and one is that sometimes I prefer a borderless deck, and sometimes I prefer a deck with borders. And in this particular pairing, I spent some time looking at it with both versions. And the amount of time that I use where did you go? Where did you go? Here you are. The Wildwood Tarot. The shiny version of the Wildwood Tarot that I trimmed is missing a card. So I only use it on my altar. I don't use it for readings. So this is the Wildwood Tarot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the Wildwood Tarot with the original version of the Messenger Oracle, and then we're going to look at it with the new version of the Messenger Oracle, and we're going to vote and see which one you like better. Okay. So we're just going to look at a few random combos. So this is the original version, which if you like, I would keep your eyes out. There might still be a few copies around if you don't have this deck. And I'm having the same kind of problem with the Enchanted Tarot. Okay, so here we go. See the signs. I love the trees and the animals in this deck, the fae. So when I was playing with this, just kind of preparing for this chat, one of the things I like is I like the contrast between the white borders and the green borders. And I feel like the borders give a beautiful frame, a beautiful frame. And these colors are just so gorgeous together. Let's look at, let's do one or two more, and then we'll switch it up for the new version. Six of Stones. Protect the wild and green. Oh my God, this is exactly what this card is talking about. This card is in direct reflection of the Six of Bows. Wow, that's really powerful. And the Two of Arrows, right? We need to make these wise decisions. So without a doubt, these two decks really have something amazing going on as far as their energy. Energetically, they fit together beautifully. I really like the contrast of the borders. I feel like this was the next card. So we have Surrender to the Flow with the Knight of Bows. The Knight of Bows does not want to surrender to the flow. And the Seven of Bows. The Knight of Bows and the Seven of Bows. So the medicine sits in the middle. Color-wise, this one's not a great combo. This would be nice if this had come up with a water card, perhaps. That's the Seer. Okay, so I'm going to switch this up and put the other deck in the middle, which is here. I'm going to give it one quick shuffle. So I'm looking for an oracle card to illuminate the Page of Vessels and the Seer. The Seer is the overarching energy for the fall. So right after the energy of Lughnasadh, August 1st, we move into the energy of the vessels, and the Seer is the energy for this time. And in the deck, it's referred to as fall, but for me, oh shoot, what did I just do? I've turned the deck in both directions. One second. Okay. Oh. You know how if you have it and going two ways and then Sadhana, what did you do? Okay, here we go. The other thing too is this is tarot size, so it's a little more manageable. All right, and here's our card. Know your fears. I'm going to just turn over a few of these. Do you see what I mean? It's like a different deck. It really is. It's like it's a different deck, and I'm going to show you something in a second. It's the same deck. It's 100% the same deck, but it just feels so very, very different. So what I'm wondering here on the fly is if we did something, because the colors are so bright, if we did this, if this would be better. I don't know. It was just a thought. Ginger Faye, I agree about the borders. Yeah, and Amy Lee sees the same. So yeah, so I'm going to do a side by side, and I'm going to reflect on this a little bit more, because it's like it's given the deck a whole new feel, a whole new energy. And I had a similar problem with the Mystic Fairy Tarot. I have the borderless version and I have the version with borders, and I feel like the energy is very, very different. Okay, so the last couple of ones here, because of the season that I am in, one of my favorite decks to work with right now is Herb Crafter's Tarot. And the Herb Crafter's Tarot is about the medicine of the plants. It's about working with the plants, using them in tinctures and food and medicines and crafting. And I have tried lots and lots of different pairings with herb crafters. And the one for me that absolutely is the most potent is soul flowers. And I know it's plant. It might be a little too matchy for some people, but it's really, it's been amazing the kind of combinations that I have picked up. So I'm just going to show you a few of these, because this soul, let me move that over. I also have the extra guidebook that goes with soul flowers, which is just a lovely, lovely, lovely book to have. And I feel like when I'm working with plant medicine, it's, especially if it's a plant that I don't work with or I'm using it for an oracular message, it's nice to have different points of view. I guess that's what I want to say. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more, because I know we're getting really late here. Wow. So let me take that out of the way and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. And Swan is suggesting the borderless messenger with cosmovisions. Okay, we definitely can try that. Okay, and one more here. Dandelion. Dandelion is the Fool in this deck. And then our pile here. Ooh. Madre of Earth. So we've got Earth Mother. Lady Slipper. Lady Slipper is about connection. So this particular reading is about not getting lost. Not getting lost in the energy of the, you know how the energy of the Fool can be so much unknown. And so I feel like these other cards are bringing everything together. Okay, so I want to have a look at Swan's suggestion. So Swan says, what would the borderless messenger look like with cosmovisions? So let's do that. So this is another favorite oracle. Let's put that there. Okay. All right, so cosmovisions. Oh wow, we had that card. Isn't that funny? Let's have a different card. The Shapeshifter and the Ace of Trees. And then you said, what would it look like with this one? Hey there, Lydia. We have I think 2 more combos left to do. And this was not planned. This was a suggestion by Swan. So we're just going to look at this one. Okay. I think this might work, Swan. This might work. Let's try one more. So sacrifice is the keyword for the Hanged Man. The Swan is the High Priestess. Ooh, that looks like the High Priestess. Okay. So yeah, that definitely that's a wonderful. So good eye, good eye. Good eye, girl. Good eye. Okay, I'm going to do this and this. That goes there. And we have, what do I have left on the plan here? I have 2 more. You guys good for 2 more? Okay. Plus the one I didn't do. I have that one too, but I feel like it's a totally different theme. Okay. Oh, but I seem to, oh my God, I have enough. No, I have to do this one too. Oh my goodness. Where are we at for time? We are at, oh, you know what? I am going to do, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to sign off, and then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to do another one next Friday. Okay. So this is going to be the last one for today. And I'm also going to go back through the chat and look and see some of the suggestions that you've made, if I have any of those. Now, Jonathan, earlier in the chat was talking about Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. And one of you was talking about Whispers of Ganesh Oracle. And these are both guidebooks by Angela Hartfield. And I have had this deck out because for me, it's a summary kind of energy. I have paired it with Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, just because it's very watery, and I really do like this deck. But the deck, one of the tarot decks that I purchased because I appreciate the art, I haven't done many readings with, is Tarot of the North Atlantic. And when it is paired with Whispers of the Ocean, it just takes on a whole new level of energy. And so that's what I'm gonna show you right now. So this is Tarot of the North Atlantic. And this is a collage deck made with, let's just do this. It's a collage deck. It's a quilted collage deck. And so if you like, what's it called? The quilted enchanted tarot, right? So this is one of those decks that has those levels of collage through art. Yeah. And so I just have found a whole new level of connection with Tarot of the North Atlantic with Whispers of the Ocean. It's just giving me much, much more to talk about. So yeah, and I like it, and I like this so much better with this particular tarot deck than Dame Darcy. I don't really. It kind of goes together because it's watery, but Dame Darcy has a totally different style. Yeah. So I wanted to show you this one because it really fits in with the season. All right. So I'm going to really enjoy going back through the chat. Going to look at the decks that you have suggested that I do or do not have in my collection. And then what I'm going to do next Friday is come back and finish the ones that I didn't do and just kind of carry on with this conversation because this is so much fun. So if you are watching this in the playback and you have some other suggestions or some requests, like Joel did early in the chat, was talking about a tarot deck that I don't even have, I'm happy, and I can also prepare this through slides as well too. So thank you so much for being here today. This has been a blast, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back on reading with Mary Beth. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm doing readings on many Saturdays, most Saturdays, with some of my tarot students. And tomorrow it's going to be me and Mary Beth, and we're going to do a roundtable readings. We'll be on for an hour, and so please join us then and support her. Right? It's really takes a lot of courage when you're new to the tarot to step up and do this. So I look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow morning. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. See you soon. Bye.